Welcome to JP's Morning Brief for July 15th, 2026. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Brief. I hope everybody had a good evening. We went to Copper's Cove Conservative Club last night, and we came home and watched 2 hours of The Ark. It's a sci-fi show. Pretty cool. It's a B-class TV show. It's not one of those high-tech, modern. It looks like, oh, you have to watch it. But the season, it's finally got season 3 premiere coming out July 29th. And so they've been playing reruns of it, and we've been recording them. So we almost got all seasons totally recorded. So it's good. We're gonna binge them again before the new season starts. It's a pretty good show, but don't go into it thinking it's gonna be ultra modernistic, and it's just a TV show, okay? But you'll see. But it's called The Ark, okay? But yeah, thanks for tuning in this morning. I don't know if I totally bored y'all with that little bit of commentary or what, but at least I don't watch the news 24/7, and I like watching pretty cool stuff. So welcome this morning. If you're not already a follower of the podcast, if you look back on your screen and you see the JPA report, you'll see tip, which are always appreciated. But next to it is a little bell. If you click on the bell and you scroll down, you'll see follow. Click the follow button. That's how you follow people on our podcast and on Rumble. Okay, so that's what you do. And then next to it, you'll see a share button. Click that, not share button, the like button, which is a thumbs up. Give myself a thumbs up for the episode. I really appreciate that. Like I always say, and I sound like a broken record, if you go visit someone's podcast, automatically give them, especially on Rumble, give them a thumbs up. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. It helps them out, and if they totally bomb, sometimes I have bad podcasts, but if they totally bomb, just give them a thumbs down or just leave them with a thumbs up and carry on. All right. So follow, like, and chat. Chat, that's always a good one too. All right, so let's carry on. Let's get moving. So we have the armament shop. Whether you're looking for your first firearm, upgrading your setup, or need expert service, Jason at the armament shop in Copper's Cove's premier source for all things shooting. Browse our wide selection of pistols, rifles, and shotguns backed by top-tier gunsmithing for repairs, along with reloading supplies and professional cleaning to keep your firearm in peak condition. Need a transfer? We make FFL transfers fast, easy, and affordable. Need your CHL? Jason can handle those classes both online and in person. He has over 3 decades of experience. Visit the Armament Shop today at 115A West Avenue D in Copper's Cove, or call or text 254-560-2023, or visit them at www.armamentshop.com. That's www.armamentshop.com. The Armament Shop, your safety, our priority. And then my voice goes. All right, so Iran update. So CENTCOM says Iran is intentionally targeting civilians. So why would you shoot at a cargo ship with an unarmed crew on it when you can fire at a U.S. Navy warship? Or are you that cowardly and want to attack civilians? That's what CENTCOM is saying. Iran says U.S. only knows the language of force. The Secretary of State, our Secretary of State, and Jordan's foreign minister discuss Iran, and then right after that, Iran attacked Jordan with a cruise missile. All right. Secretary of War encourages Iraq to disarm its Iranian-aligned militias. The Secretary of Treasury, Scott Bessent, froze $130 million in Iranian assets. So when you say Iran is getting away by selling oil in the open market over the last 6 weeks, well, we just froze all that money again. Kuwait got attacked by 39 missiles and drones yesterday, while Iran intercepted several missiles yesterday. Trump says Iran has no choice but to make a deal. The Strait of Hormuz traffic is down 90% because everybody's afraid. It's not costing the price of oil too much, which I'm going to give in just a minute. Trump says Iran will be hit hard next week. Reportedly, the president was in the Situation Room last night. You can't put two and two together from that type of meeting, or it could have just been a head of state call and so on. You never know. The blockade is in total effect now, and the IRGC, always got to leave it on a good note. The IRGC says not a single drop of oil or gas will leave the region. Okay. I'll put money on the U.S. Navy. Maybe not a single drop of Iranian oil and gas will leave the region, but everybody else will be making money. The stock market was up 9.63 yesterday to 52,508.27. West Texas Intermediate oil was trading at $79.92 a barrel. That was about 5 o'clock this morning. And then 5 o'clock Central. And Brent crude oil was trading at $85.33 a barrel. With all the rhetoric coming out of the Middle East, you would expect these numbers to be in the upper 90s and low 100s. But you can see the rhetoric coming out of the Middle East is against Iran and not against everybody else. All right, so that's your Iran update. Now let's carry on with my announcements before we get into the rest of the brief. Tomorrow at Area 254 at 6 p.m. is Pints and Politics Colleen with Chip Howe. The location of it is on South 4th Street in the old Kmart Shopping Center is where Area 254 is. Man. And then on the 20th of July is Smoking Hot Conservatives. That's at 6 p.m. on 4110 South Clear Creek Road. It's with Chip Howell also. In a cigar shop called the Leaf Affair. Conservatives, they just hang out, smoke cigars, talk politics. And then the next one is another Pints and Politics. It's in Gatesville on the 23rd of July. That's next Thursday at Rancher Steakhouse, 6 p.m. And the guest master of ceremonies, I just saw that, Gracie the Giraffe. Oh, wow. She got captured and she's going to be the master of ceremonies. That's pretty cool. Next is on the 25th of July is Coryell County Republican Women, 11 a.m. at Trinity Worship Center. Dr. Mark Fulmer is going to be there, and he's going to be talking about Islamicism, and that's in particular the geopolitical implications of the greater context of the Red-Green Alliance. That's with Gay Lowe and the Coryell County Republican Women. Awesome organization to be a member of. All right, they're part of the Texas Federation of Republican Women. And then that's all my announcements. So yesterday, that's at 8 p.m., 8 a.m. So yesterday, Darlene Graham I guess she's going by Graham instead of Nordon, but maybe they wanted to keep Graham as her last name as a tribute to her brother. Newly minted Senator Darlene Graham, Republican, South Carolina, represents a series of firsts in the Senate for her home state. Graham was sworn in on Tuesday as the first female senator from the Palmetto State, the first sister ever appointed to the upper chamber, and the first person to fill the colossal gap left behind by her brother, Lindsey Graham. Quote, Lindsey was always there for me, and now I'll be there for him. That was the title of my podcast yesterday. Darlene Graham said during the appointment ceremony, my brother was the most amazing person, outstanding leader, and a genuine good man. Although she's never held elected office, she has been at the forefront rows of her brother's work, appearing with him on the campaign trail and during his own swearing-in ceremonies. It's such a privilege to get to finish some of his important work, and I promise to work hard over the next several months to support the president and carry forward the efforts of my brother on behalf of the citizens of South Carolina and the United States. Years ago, when her brother was running for president, he was asked by CNN if he made it to the White House, his sister would get a role in the administration. If she took a role, it would be a great representative for our country. I can't think of a better person to represent our country in an event than my sister, Lindsey Graham said way back in 2015. So Darlene Graham was appointed to fulfill the remainder of her brother's term on Monday by South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster. President Trump recommended she get the position, and along with Senator Tim Scott, who is from South Carolina also. So that marks one chapter. She's the first female senator from South Carolina. That's pretty cool. So next Tuesday on the 21st opens up the filing period for 1 week for people wanting to run for the regular position of senator starting in January 2027. So the speculations are that it's going to be Nancy Mace, Pam Everett, Ralph Norman, and Joe Wilson. All right. Nikki Haley said no. Mr. Norman said he will let everybody know the day. So the list is dwindling down. So we'll know more by Tuesday who's going to file for the primary on August 11th. All right. I just saw a headline on here. Todd Blanche's confirmation hearing is today for Attorney General, along with Jay Clayton for DNI. His confirmation hearing is today also in the United States Senate. All right, next. Oh, man, I'm sorry. Hold on just a second. I try to warm up before I come in here and go live. I guess it didn't work today. It set me up for failure. All right. Speaker Johnson scored a win with conservative rebels. I can't believe I said that. But with Anna Paulina Luna in her stoppage of bills, he came to an agreement with her yesterday. And it's pretty unique what they did. So you'll hear about it in just a second. House conservatives entered their weeks-long blockade of the House floor Tuesday, handing Speaker Johnson a key victory over the rebellion. Brought legislative business to a standstill for nearly a month. The House successfully passed a procedural vote 215 to 211, teeing up votes on an appropriation bill that funding the State Department, legislation making daylight savings time permanent, and a measure seeking to improve veterans' benefits. Johnson also agreed to pair the State Department funding bill with the Save America Act, prompting several conservative holdouts to flip for votes after demanding the House increase pressure on the Senate. Oh, she shuts up when I stop talking. Wow. That's my cat. See, you can hear her. Her name's Miso. I call her Miso Stupid. Okay. Y'all can laugh at that if you want. So what happened was that Johnson also agreed to pair the State Department funding bill with the Save America Act, which prompted several conservative holdouts to flip their votes. And so what they're going to do is they're going to attach the Save America Act to every single bill that goes over to the Senate to prompt the Senate to actually debate it and vote on it. They can strip it down if they want, but they're going to attach it to every single one until they get a vote on it. All right? That's what she wanted. That's what she's going to get. We'll see if that works. John Thune laughed at the idea. He thought it was ridiculous. All right? I say keep doing it. Yeah. So Anna Paulina Luna was among the GOP rebels, you lousy rebels, who effectively shut down the chamber to pressure the Senate to pass the Save America Act, agreed to unlock the floor after Johnson proposed pairing the election measure with the State Department appropriations bill. That's cool. That's all we ask. Mr. Speaker, keep doing it. Keep doing it. Earn that vote to be Speaker, okay? Next bill, daylight savings time. This is good. Okay, so the daylight savings bill locks in daylight savings across the country, giving individual states the opportunity to opt out, all right, if they want. The problem with that is, New York and Virginia and let's say Delaware, we'll go with that. What if all three of their legislatures say, well, we want to stay on standard time? So you'll have a pocket of states all on savings time, and like 3 states it's going to be marked across. But that's how they got it across the board. I can see the vast majority of the states staying on savings time. It passed the House 308 votes to 117. Veto proof, very bipartisan. It has to be bipartisan to be veto proof. But the president already supports it. He will sign it. The problem is, now it's got to go over to the Senate. And in their almighty knowing ways in the Senate, they don't know if it'll pass. 308 to 17, and they don't know if they can get past the 60 vote threshold to get this passed. What kind of game are we playing here? Except for that cat. Man, what's up with that girl? So I don't know. I went through this, but I could not find it. I still can't find it. Where the Hakeem Jeffries voted no on this. Wow. The House Minority Leader was one of the 117 no's. Wow. Huh. Wow. Okay. Well, he's not going to be the minority leader very long because he's going to get voted out of his leadership position or eventually voted out of his office. So, a big one I'm going to talk about during the JPA report. Hold on. And if you're like watching this for the first time, I'm sorry, I'm a one-man show. I don't have huge production set up here. I got 3 screens and a camera and my backdrop. Okay, that's all I got. I don't have a production staff and stuff like that. I'm a one-man show, but just bear with me. I do the best I can. Sometimes people don't have the opportunity to go search out the news. I am going to present conservative news for people to hear about. Okay, this one is disturbing. I heard about this yesterday afternoon, and I reported it. I heard a report on it last night during Hannity because actually, when I got back from a Copper's Cove Conservative Club, I actually watched Hannity for a little bit before we started watching the Ark, right? And he was talking about he was swept up in this also. So allegedly, well, they got the paperwork on it. They got the receipts. Former special counsel Jack Smith's investigation into President Donald Trump swept up text messages from nearly 50 members of Congress, bypassing a required review process in what one victim alleged is a direct constitutional violation. You better believe it is. It's in the Constitution. They're protected by law. Senate, because sometimes it drives me nuts, some of the stuff that comes out of the left, because they can't be prosecuted for it. But you can't just go on a violation of Fourth Amendment rights. Senate Judiciary Chairman Charles Grassley said the situation is more proof Smith's probe was a runaway train of abuses of power, and the elder statesman and Senate Investigation Subcommittee Chair Ron Johnson from Wisconsin jointly released their filings Tuesday evening, which was last night. Grassley and Johnson's findings were a full-scale probe of Operation Arctic Frost, the code name for Smith's endeavor to investigate Trump for alleged corruption and election malfeasance, an operation top Senate Republicans called worse than Watergate. 44 members of Congress had the contents of their text messages, the contents, not just swept up that number, the contents. Like, hey, Joe, this is James. How's it going? Those type of text messages, Jack Smith's people swept up. And of course, there's other ones. Like, hey, man, I need to talk to you about the Save America Act. Stuff like that. It's raining outside again, guys. Okay. We got almost 2 inches of rain yesterday. We're going to get a whole lot more today. Okay, so the contents of their text messages obtained and reviewed. So now they captured them and then they read them by Smith's team in a way that bypassed the protocol. A filter team was tasked for reviewing millions of documents in the case and should have had first crack at to determine whether the messages were relevant or potentially violated statute or ethics. Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, one of the lawmakers whose texts were swept up in this way, said Tuesday such reviews amounted to clear violations of the Constitution's speech and debate clause that protects lawmakers from being questioned in any other space than the Capitol for legislative acts, like I was just talking about. Internal communications have been historically included in that clause in the courts as technology has advanced. Stefanik said in a statement that the new records prove Smith's team unlawfully and unconstitutionally accessed my private text messages along with 43 other members of Congress in a clear violation of the Constitution. She said she long suspected has been unconstitutional spying on members of Congress. The records were provided by The records were provided by the Trump administration Justice Department to Grassley and Johnson, and the chairman indicted Smith's team had circumvented their own filter review process. The process additionally meant to protect attorney-client privilege, they said in a statement. What is the reason we have a constitution? Is it toilet paper or what? What kind of game are we playing here? I don't have a copy of the Constitution. I got a big book. Are we just going to rip it to shreds? Use it as a napkin? What is the purpose of us having our Constitution and our Bill of Rights protecting citizens and lawmakers from the abuses of government? Who does Jack Smith or Jack Boot Smith think he can be by circumventing the Constitution and doing what he wants? Now you know why people don't want the Section 702 renewed? Because the abuses of powers that's ongoing in our government. Thank goodness we have an FBI to investigate this stuff and got rid of James Comey, Christopher Wray, Robert Mueller. He's passed, but we dealt with this for years, and the big brother thinking they're better than everybody else and do what they want. Like I just said, I got so sick of hearing some of these congressmen knowing that they're lying through their teeth, like Adam Smith, senator from California. When he was in the House, he'd come out and just lie through his teeth about President Trump. You couldn't do a thing about it. But Jack Smith was able to, in total defiance and disregard to one of the most precious documents in the world. Hopefully, we can get him indicted and prosecuted for it. That is totally ridiculous that we are even tolerant of this even happening. The left is so belligerent in what they do. They don't care. All they want to do is win elections. We know that all Republicans want to do is win elections, but we do it the right way. We don't circumvent the laws that fit our need. You can say what you want. There are too many people up with TDS right now. No, Trump defiant syndrome, what do they call it? But this is ridiculous. To spy on existing members of Congress. Wow. And then I'll say there's one other thing because it's already 6:58. How close are we to 59? We got 15 seconds. Alessa Slotkin, an ex-CIA agent who's a Democrat member of the Senate in Michigan, her headline on this article I'm not getting to right now is the Save America Act would make it hard for any Democrat to win in America because now you have to prove your citizenship to vote. Okay, to register to vote, you have to show voter ID to vote, and you won't be able to rely on mail-in ballots to win your election. So sorry, Charlie, or Charlotte, or whatever you call it yourself. I don't trust CIA agents anyway. But we got issues in our country, people. I'm gonna do more on this stuff and during the JPA report. So tune back in just a little while, and you can hear more. Okay, it's already almost 7:00, so I'm gonna initiate the raid over the vents, and I will see y'all in an hour on the JPA report. The raid is confirmed. Enjoy Vince this morning, and I'll see y'all in about an hour. Okay, so this is James Pierce with the JP's morning brief. I'll catch you on the flip side. Oh yeah, and there will not be a morning brief tomorrow. There'll be a full-fledged JPA report tomorrow morning at 6. due to my VA appointment at 6 o'clock. Okay.